you from Google, you will not get everything genuine, because you will get from Google everything. Somebody has written a blog, somebody has a wiki. This is also a sort of a blog. It's written by somebody, but it's not authenticated. It's not cross-referenced. It's not reviewed. It has not gone through the process of 4 stages. It has not gone through the process of cross-checking. It has not gone through the process of preliminary reviewing. Then it has not gone through the process of peer reviewing. And finally, it has not been referenced. So these are the 4 stages in publication. So once you do not have, so there are 4 indicators in making it genuine or not genuine. It could be genuine, but it has not gone through the process. So you cannot directly cite it in your research. If it has not gone through the whole processes, it has not been reviewed first. Cross-reference first. It has not been reviewed. It has not been peer reviewed. And finally, it has not been referenced somewhere. Now, it's to be taken in Google, you will not get everything genuine. But once you go into Google Scholar, you assume that everything is genuine. But you can assume it. For your sake, you can assume it. But if you cross-check many of the publications, they will be printed in substandard journals. Paid journals with no cross-referencing, peer reviewing, fake journals, so does this actually meet the publication ethics? Does this meet the publication ethics? It doesn't. You cannot publish publications because they do not meet the publication ethics. And the 4 stages of meeting the publication ethics are these. You have to remember this. Like in Hadith compilations, there have been, if you must have read that when the compilations were being done, it was being reviewed, cross-referenced, isn't it? This is taken from there. Every researcher has to go through these processes such that to make his publication genuine. Now, when you are publishing your paper, you have to take into account that whatever I am citing, it has to go through this. That citation has gone through, or that reference has gone through this process. When it has gone through this process, you are quoting those papers, then your publication will also become a genuine publication. But once your publication also goes through the same process. Now, this is why let me first stick to this. In Google Scholar, I told you can find many other things which may not be genuine. They may be genuine for the sake of कि हाँ उसने रिसर्च की है, जिसने रिसर्च की है वो कहेगा कि मैंने रिसर्च की है, मैंने ये काम किया है, but it has not gone through the process. I cannot take it as an authentic publication. When I am actually printing in these, if you now shift from these, take the reference from these journals and then start to publish in a good journal, they will not accept these as references. Why won't they accept these as references? Because you are actually citing a publication which is not truly authentic. They will not accept it. So even your references in your publications have to be genuine and authentic. Then you can publish in a good journal. So in publication ethics, now how much percent do you use Google Scholar? How much genuine is it? Or authentic is it? Authentic means how much trust can you give on Google Scholar when you are taking a publication from here? आपने चेक किया है तो if you can check Google Scholar, just give some keywords there and you will get a list of publications. Now which ones do you take from there? Do you take anything? वहाँ पर PDF भी मिल रहा है किसी का? Just a simple, do you take anything or what do you prefer to take? Even from Google Scholar you prefer to take कि Science Direct में कौन publish हुआ है, Elsevier में कौन publish हुआ है, for your sake IEEE में कौन publish हुआ है, and for civil engineers sake American Society में कौन publish हुआ है, ASTM में कौन publish हुआ for mechanical and civil engineers, and for civil engineers sake again FEMA Federal Emergency Management Authority में क्या publish हुआ है, American Concrete Institute में क्या publish हुआ है. Then for others sake I don't recall any of the publications from the food tech. I cannot recall. Again, these are the sources. These are the major primary sources. So you would say that their genuinity is, authenticity is quite good. Based on what? Based on what do you say that these Science Direct, Elsevier, Wiley, publishers, Stringer, that's part of this Science Direct. Now, based Taylor and Francis. Now, these are publication houses. Now, there is a difference between publishing source and publishing house. These are houses. They are publishing the material. But you say that they are authentic. Why do we say that?
Because they follow these 4 rules.
They are following the rule of genuinity or the authenticity. This rule. So they are going through the process. Not only that, in publication ethics, you have one more thing. It's very important. Is their verification of journal authenticity. Now, how are the, not only journal, any publishing authenticity. Now, how is a publication verified there? Once it's printed in the publishing house, they have followed all the 4 procedures. They have printed your paper. But then there are agencies which are actually monitoring whether these publication houses, whatever they are printing, are they actually following this rule or they are just printing it? Are they actually following the rule? Now those verification houses are Thomas, Reuters, SCI, you must have heard, Scopus. Now these are verification houses. They are like audit agencies. Somebody is dealing with finance, you know that once you are into the finance, somebody is spending the money. Now there is somebody who is auditing whether he has spent the money at the right place or not. Somebody is dealing with construction, and somebody is verifying whether he has done the construction as per the requirements or not. Somebody is dealing with the food technology, and you must be knowing that there are agencies like NABL. Now they are accrediting whether the food testing laboratory is as per the requirements or not. So these are verification. I can call them verification or audit houses. But they are also assessing houses. They are not only audit houses, they are assessing houses as well. Now, what is an assessing house? क्या होता है assessing house? While you are doing an assessment, कि ये जर्नल इसमें से कितना % फॉलो कर रहा है, ये जर्नल कितना % फॉलो कर रहा है, हाउ मेनी peer review processes has the journal gone through? It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 7. Now what is a peer review? You are reviewing the paper from 5 different authors, experts in the field. आपने 5 experts के पास भेज दिया, वहाँ से 5 तरह से 5 comments आए to the publication. Now those comments come to the researcher or the author of the publication, and that author is now correcting those as per the comments और फिर वो वापस भेज रहे हैं. It could again go through a revision process. फिर से reviewers के पास भेज दिया, फिर से comments आ गए, फिर से वो comments क्लियर कर दिया, फिर से भेज दिया, again reviewers के पास भेज दिया. Now how many steps is the publishing house following? जो बहुत बड़ा जर्नल जिसे हम कहते हैं, बड़ा जर्नल, लार्ज हाउस, जिसकी रैंकिंग ऊपर होती है, it goes through more and more tight processes. It follows a very tight process, and you can say a comprehensive process. A better term would be a comprehensive process. Now this comprehensive process means it's following lot of, first of all, they are checking whether the title has not been taken by somebody else. Now this is the first point in the publication ethic. They are checking this. ये टाइटल किसी और ने नहीं लिया है. उसके बाद वो एब्स्ट्रैक्ट चेक करते हैं, ये फिर उसकी प्लेजरिज्म चेक होती है, फिर उसके बाद मेन बॉडी की प्लेजरिज्म चेक हुई. ये दिस इज द रोल ऑफ एन एडिटर. वो एडिटर ये सारा पहला जर्नल का he follows this procedure. Then the editor sends it to the reviewers, and he goes through a very comprehensive process which I just described. He can follow, he can take one reviewer, he can take 3 reviewers, but one reviewer is not a peer reviewer. One. If it's one reviewer, it's not a peer reviewer. And what is the designation of the reviewer? How many publications does the reviewer have? For example, if I have 6 or 7 publications, now some journal sends a review paper to me to review, for review. Now there is another journal which is following much more tight, more comprehensive process, much more expanded process, where they are sending this paper to a reviewer who has 100 publications. There is some other journal which is sending it to a reviewer who has 1000 publications. Now that means इनका स्कोर शीट बनता है based on what? Number 1, based on whether they have checked the plagiarism. Number 2, whether the publication house has sent to the reviewer or not, and to how many reviewers. Third, what is the designation of the reviewer? Is he from the same field? ऐसा नहीं तो नहीं कर रहा है कि ही इज अ केमिकल इंजीनियर एंड ही इज सेटिंग टू अ फूड टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट and or a food technologist is sending to a chemical engineer for checking. Is he from the same field? Is he is the reviewer there? How many publications does he have? What's the quality of the reviewer? Now, how many processes of revision has the paper gone through? तो उनका स्कोर शीट वैसे ही बनता है और कौन ये स्कोर शीट बनाता है? These agencies themselves जो वेरिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं जनरल की they make the score sheet of that publishing house. Now this is verification house or an audit house or an assessment house which is verifying the publishing house. तो ये score sheet उनका बनाते हैं. Now there we assume there is zero corruption in all these three agencies. We assume that there is zero corruption there. And publication, you do not call it corruption, you call it, what do you call it? Intellectual property is a property that you have, but if somebody is stealing it, what do you call it? Did you learn this? ये नहीं पढ़ा इससे पहले? What do you call if somebody is stealing intellectual property, IP? It's intellectual corruption. Simple. You have a property that's intellectual property. If somebody is stealing it, it's an intellectual corruption. Now, that's a different thing in which I will not go into right now. I'm focusing on this now. What is Google Scholar? How much percent authenticity will you give it? आप बताओ सब कितना दोगे आप इसको स्कोर परसेंटेज में और आउट ऑफ 10? गूगल स्कॉलर को 0 दोगे आप? क्यों? बट गूगल स्कॉलर में आपको ये वाले पब्लिशिंग हाउसेस के भी मिलेंगे. यू विल ऑल्सो गेट फ्रॉम दीज पब्लिशिंग हाउसेस. यू विल गेट अ मिक्सचर ऑफ एवरीथिंग. यू विल गेट फ्रॉम दीज पब्लिशिंग हाउसेस.
Which source is Google Scholar?
स्कोपस.
Google Scholar.
गूगल स्कॉलर में आपको स्कोपस भी नहीं मिलता है. यू गेट all the three, Thomson, SCI, Scopus, but you also get without Scopus as well. No Scopus. And you must have seen somebody also, I can go to the Google Scholar और मैं वहाँ पर अपना प्रोफाइल बना सकता हूँ और मैं वहाँ पर पब्लिकेशंस अपने डाल सकता हूँ. तो मैं वहाँ पर पेड जर्नल से भी डाल सकता हूँ और उसकी भी साइटेशंस आ सकती हैं. So you can say 50-50%. Google Scholar is 50%. 50% authentic and 50% not authentic. Just a rough abstract idea. It's 50% authentic, 50% not authentic. You cannot take everything from the Google Scholar. So in publication now, when all of these sources are important, all of these are important. Where do we go for journals? These houses. What about anything else apart from these? There are many others. You have societies. Every country has different societies. And every society has got its own publications. Most of the societies have got their own publications. Like for example, I can talk about the civil engineering. We have many societies in concrete, Indian concrete societies, Indian structural society, then we have Indian geotechnical societies, Indian transportation societies. Similarly, in your fields, you will have different type of societies. Is IEEE is it a publication house? It's a publication house and it's authentic. I forgot to mention that because we are not dealing as civil engineers with IEEE. Now, apart from societies, we have universities. They also have their own publications. And all the leading top universities, they have their own journals which are printed. Does IUC print anything here? Any journal right now? They are not printing or publishing any journal. Does Kashmir University print? It's in the literature field they are publishing. In the probably we might also have in the literature field. There were certain journalism department giving a news outlet like Eco and another from our university. So, but what about journals? Being from NIT, I did not see any journal coming out from there. But once in IITs, I realized that they have their own journals, but not truly authentic. Even though IITs are at world rank 180 to 280, but still then they do not have an authentic publication house in journals. Although they may have the conference proceedings, they periodically the IITs send the conference proceedings, but most of the publications again are not truly authentic. But once you talk about the leading universities in the world, for example, I was last year in NTU Singapore, they had around 40 journals only in civil engineering coming out. So, other than that, and that's a world rank 13 university. Now, I had one of the friends from Michigan University, and he had from Michigan University, only in civil engineering, they used to publish around 15 journals, conference proceedings, books every single year. So universities are actually a knowledge gaining field there. They are actually publishing things. All of the things may not be truly authentic, may not be verified by all these agencies.